like my do? Hey, it's me, Cisco Morrissey. Here's what's coming up on Gardening with Ciscoe. We're showing off new Hellebores, including one that deserves special treatment. Landscape tricks that'll sell your home. We're making whole grain bread that you don't even have to knead. Get out your zip ties. Tips for transplanting orchids. All this in a store that sells everything from cacti to carnivores. Coming up right now on Gardening with Ciscoe. I'm Cisco Morris.
And I'm Meeghan Black. Welcome to Gardening with Ciscoe.
We are in the most wonderful place there is to be in winter, the Indoor Sun Shop. This has been here since 1970.
Oh.
They've got everything, carnivorous plants, cacti, anything you need for great house plants.
I was going to say it's older than me, but I better not start the show off lying, right? Hey, before we check out all these cool plants, we're going to step outside because right about now I'm thinking you need a little color. If so, plant these. So who do you think wants flowers in their garden immediately?
Well, you're not kidding. And you know, you need something to cheer up that winter garden, you know,
Yes.
even though spring's finally coming, as you can see.
But a hellebore really likes a kind of a shadier spot, particularly in the summertime when the sun comes up.
Yeah, there are some now, like this one right here could take sun.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that
okay.
something?
So
Oh,
you have
la,
two to
la.
plant, I see. But they also have unique characteristics. You want them to be shown. So
Yeah, these
pick a good spot.
disappear in the back in the garden. So, hey, let's see if we can figure out where to put them.
Okay.
So this one's called rosemary, Meeghan, and these leaves just get redder and redder. What do you think right
I think
there?
it's really cute.
Oh, that'll be
People
beautiful.
walking by will be able to see it. And then we have this one. It's called Merlin, a little smaller flower.
Yeah, and look at the beautiful veins in the leaves. And these leaves, see how on the back they're so red?
Right.
They turn redder and redder and
Oh,
redder as
really?
they age, yeah.
So where are you going to put him?
Okay, what do you think?
Look at you with empty space in your
Yeah, I
garden.
know, I just ripped out a really big plant over here. Ooh.
I
oh,
like
la,
it.
la.
That is beautiful.
Oh, that's
Get
going to
the
be
flowers
magnificent.
toward the road. There you
yeah,
go.
good idea.
And then there's this guy.
Oh my gosh, the queen of the garden.
It's
Onyx
Odyssey. Onyx Odyssey.
And look at the size of the flower on this guy.
is
That
gorgeous.
is a honker.
It's a double, too.
Look at that double.
I know.
That's even
I
a
like
quadruple, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So what do you do with him?
Well, you know, that's the problem. If we plant that in the garden, it's still really pretty, but you don't get to see the beautiful
Right.
double, so I have a trick.
You always do.
Don't I always? So we're going to put it in this spectacular pot.
Oh, there's a little bit of soil in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Oh, this is just falling right out.
Oh, okay.
Not much to do with
Let's
those
see, I
roots,
wonder
maybe
if
a
I
little bit.
Throw a little more soil in there now
Okay.
that I get a good look at that.
So just gently.
Yeah. This, by the way, this is one expensive plant.
Is it
right
really? And here I am doing this to this. It always makes me so nervous.
here.
Okay.
But boy, it's worth the moolah for a plant this cool. Would it? Oh, just right. I think.
Perfect. So something tells me you have a spot for it that may be vertically above the rest.
Yes. Wait till you see the
Okay.
spot we're gonna put this, Meeghan.
Oh, look at that. A little throne for the Lenten rose.
Voila! Is that cool or what?
I would say so. You
So-
have outdone yourself.
All you need is just a nice rock standing in your garden. Everybody has one of those.
Absolutely. Or a bench or something else.
Yeah, something tall that could be beautiful. Now, and I noticed this when it was shining in the sunlight, when it was just sitting down on the cement. Oh, la la. They just glow in the sunlight.
So when do you need to transplant him into the garden? Because he can't live in there forever.
No, I could probably put him in a bigger pot
Okay.
if I want to. At some point, I could do it this spring, or I might wait a year and do it then.
Just because there's more to do in the spring.
Yeah.
That is a unique idea. Great way to see those flowers on the Hellebore.
Isn't that pretty?
I love those hellebores, particularly just brightens up your mood this time of the year.
Sure does.
Again, the ones you saw were the rosemary, the Merlin, and the Onyx Odyssey, and that baby was...
I paid $40 for it, but it's a little cheaper now.
For that one little plant.
Oh,
Yes.
man. Hey, but there's another plant out in your garden right now about to bloom. You got to do some work on it right now.
A little job to do. We're going to be busy for a couple of hours.
We are going to be busy forever here.
I call this bishop's cap. You call it
Epimedium.
Epimedium.
That's just its botanical name.
Okay. So
And-
what do we want to do here? It looks kind of cool.
Well, it does look nice, but you know what? The leaves are starting to go
Yeah.
downhill quite
Yeah.
a bit, and they're going to get worse and worse.
Okay.
So we want to cut it all down so when the new leaves come up, they look great, and it has really pretty little flowers
That's
that look
right,
like
it
bishop
does.
caps.
And they hide inside them
That's
if you
right.
don't get rid of the old leaves.
Right to the ground on these guys, or as close as you can stand getting, because, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't see any of the new flowers yet. So that's what you want to do. Holy cats, Meeghan, I didn't
Look
even
at
know
that.
this rock was in here.
Oh, that's a hoot.
Oh, my gosh.
Kind of wasted under there.
It is. I think I am going to probably divide a little.
So bishop's cap or epimedium, go out and cut the baby back right now. You'll be glad you did it.
Yeah, even though it's a lot of work.
By the looks of it outside, I'm thinking you really probably should be doing a little winter cleanup, particularly since the long-range forecast says no super cold weather.
Oh, now that's a risky statement to make.
I am a meteorologist, you know.
Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from the Indoor Sun Shop in Seattle, where I have come for years to buy houseplants, and I especially love their bug-eating plants.
Oh,
look at the
pitcher
flowers
plant.
on those.
Look at that. That is amazing.
Hey, watch your finger, watch your finger.
I might
Don't get it too
snatched
close.
up. You know, if your house is on the market, chances are you don't want some carnivorous plants all over the counters, little bugs crawling around in them. But there are some pretty simple things that you could do to help improve that curbside appeal. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. That's especially true when selling a home. Curb appeal counts, and one of the keys to curb appeal is fresh landscaping.
Taking an average landscape and making it good, you can usually expect to see like a 4 to 7% increase in the value of your home.
Crunch the numbers, and even if you're being conservative, that translates into an increase of $4,000 for every $100,000 in home value. That buys a lot of beauty bark and primroses.
Especially with all the homes that are on the market right now, you want yours to be the one that people stop to go look at, right?
This home in Maple Valley was about to go on the market. Paul and his crew got the order to spruce it up. Their first impression? Nothing awful, just a tired landscape in need of some pep.
It didn't have the well-manicured look. The edges weren't defined. The plants hadn't been pruned. A lot of the perennials were still up and hadn't been cut back. So it looked really disorderly.
The simple solution to make this place pop? A basic cleanup from hedges to edges.
Well, the first thing we did was we mowed the grass, and then we edged it, and we cleaned the beds, cut the perennials back. We reshaped and pruned a lot of the bushes and hedges. Did some structural pruning on the trees, brought the bark in, and then we did some pressure washing to just give it that little extra clean appearance.
Then, fresh flowers, and you don't have to break the bank with something exotic. Primroses are a great choice for late winter, and even the mulch is a cosmetic choice.
The color we used over here is kind of the red color, so it really makes the plants pop out.
Even though it won't be the first thing a prospective buyer sees, the backyard should get some attention as well. It will be seen during those house tours.
A prospective home buyer is not going to walk through the yard, really. They're going to take a look, so they're going to look from the back patio doors. And then we balanced it with a couple more splashes of color throughout the yard to complete it and make it look real nice.
A couple more rules for curb appeal cleanup. Replace dead plants and make sure decks are spotless. If you're not a do-it-yourselfer, this cleanup took a crew of professionals one day, and a ballpark price for similar projects could cost anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500. Focusing on curb appeal will help sell a house, but it can make it a pleasure to come home to as well.
Landscapes should be taken care of all year round. Why wait to sell it?
Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe. Meeghan, guess what career I would have taken if I wasn't a gardener?
comedian.
Oh, no, yeah. That's possible, I guess. No, I would have been a baker.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Via showed me how to make a bread. It seemed like it came from the most high-end bakery on earth. You didn't even have to knead it.
Welcome to Baking with Ciscoe.
So, Lynn,
Hi, Ciscoe.
when I found out that we were making bread, I started lifting weights
nice.
and doing sit-ups
Let
and
me see.
push-ups. I am
yeah.
ready to knead.
You know what? I hate to disappoint you. This is a no-knead bread.
No knead?
Yeah.
Oh,
Check
la,
it
la.
out. Okay.
Hey, I like that idea.
Originally, this is from Sullivan Street Bakery. Fabulous, fabulous little bakery in New York. And so what we're doing here is I'm adding all kinds of wonderful seeds and spices and nuts from our bulk department. So what I did was I put all of those into a blender, blended them into almost like a flour, and then we're going to add that to our mixture.
Oh.
You give me some salt there,
Okay.
please.
Whole
And
thing?
this is just,
Okay.
This is unbleached wheat flour that I have here, some yeast, and then our lovely little blend there. Pumpkin seeds.
All kinds of good
Yeah,
things
all
in
the healthy
there.
things. I know, I love it. And then all we do is just add 2 1/4 cups of water to that. We don't have to have hot water, don't have to do anything except stir it into a nice little batter, because what we're going to do is we're going to let it sit at room temperature from anywhere from 12 to 18 hours. And then what that ends up is this.
Oh.
And this is what really tender, little spongy. It's had a little bit of fermentation plus the yeast developing. And then I'm going to wash my hands and we'll come back and I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, so what you're going to do is take that flour and just this is a nice clean tea towel that I brought back from France just for you.
Oh, la,
and
la.
go ahead and just give me a ton of flour on top of that.
Boy.
This is such a soft dough that you really can't overflour. Okay, that looks good. And then hang on to that bowl for a second because we're going to
Alrighty.
need a little bit more maybe. So then you can see I'm taking my sponge here, and it takes a spatula to get it out
Boy,
of there.
it does.
Yeah.
It does.
So
Doesn't
fine.
just let go.
Give me a little more flour on top.
Okay.
Okay, and now what we're going to do is just a real quick little fold over, just to kind of form it up, just about 4 or 5 times. Just to kind of draw a little bit of that gluten together in there, and then we're going to form it into a pretty little ball. And probably got enough. And then you want to make sure you got a nice amount of flour here, because what's going to happen, we're going to let this rise for another hour and a half. When that happens, it's going to get sticky again.
Oh.
So I'm going to set it down on there.
What a little cutie.
Isn't it pretty? Look
It's a little munchkin.
you know what? Just give it a little pat. I think you should. Yeah, see? Isn't that nice? All right, so now we're going to cover the baby up and just kind of fold the ends in. And we're going to let that raise for about an hour and a half. Okay, so what we did is we let this rise for about an hour and a half. Okay, so that was the second rise.
Yep.
Then I turned my oven on really smoking hot, and I put this pan in. This is my gorgeous Lodge pan, which I adore.
a beauty.
But Le Creuset or any sort of pan that's got a nice heavy cast sides and a tight fitting lid. And isn't that fun? You need a lid for this.
Wow.
So stay
Yeah,
with me.
so, okay, I'm with ya.
So this pan has been preheated. So what we're going to do is you're going to unwrap that
Oh, I
baby.
can't wait to
Just
look.
Go for it. I know.
Come out, little
how
guy.
pretty it is.
Oh,
Yay.
what
Don't touch
a
that.
little cutie.
I know, isn't that fabulous?
Oh.
So what we're going to do is just lift that up off the tea towel, and now you can see why we put so much flour in there.
Oh, I sure
And then
do.
that just goes into the pan like that. So what we do is we put the lid on it for 30 minutes, and that's going to give it a little steam and get it started. Then we're going to take the lid off and cook it for another 20 minutes or so. Okay?
Oh,
So let's
yeah.
get this in the oven.
Oh, yeah, let's
All right.
get it in.
Okay, my dear.
Holy
Isn't that
Toledo.
gorgeous?
There is
I know.
nothing better than the smell
I know.
of fresh cooked bread.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so, like I said, I cooked this for 30 minutes with the lid on. See if I can get it out of there.
Yeah,
I know
that
I
can be a
can.
little bit of
there
a
we
challenge,
go.
huh?
It's a little warm. That's okay. Good. Warm is good.
Ooh, what a beauty.
And then I took the lid off and let it cook a little bit longer. So I want to just cut into this and let you. And I just have to show you. In fact, let's cut the whole thing so those guys can see too. How beautiful the crumb of this is.
Oh,
Isn't that just
look
fabulous?
at that.
Nice little tight crust and nice crumb. Okay, so a bite.
I can't believe this is no-knead.
I know. So simple. And so what I did is I got a bunch of local cheeses, some
yeah.
beautiful pears, and here I think you just need to have a bite of it.
Oh, yeah,
Go
I'm
for
just
it.
going for
Yeah.
it right now.
You know what?
Sharing is good.
Isn't that beautiful?
You know what? There is something better than the smell of fresh baked bread. It's the taste of fresh baked bread. Oh la la! Oh, it's good stuff. Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from the Indoor Sun Shop in Seattle. You know, they have a lot more than just houseplants.
Really?
They have everything you need to grow houseplants.
Nice.
So if you want to go on an orchid transplanting adventure, this is the place to go.
I'm going to hop on board, and it's a good thing because orchids are our plant pick. Oh my Lord, look at this orchid, and you said it smells.
It's a Zygopetalum.
Oh,
Isn't
wow.
that amazing?
It's so fresh.
The whole
Yeah.
kitchen area is just fragrant as can
It is
be.
just fresh. I love it. So what's it called again?
Zygopetalum.
Zygopetalum. Okay.
Yeah.
I won't remember that, but that's okay. I'll write
They're
it down.
a pretty easy new hybrid type
like
of
it.
orchid to plant.
I guess we have a problem because we need to stake it.
Yeah.
But you
And-
got this cool pot.
Yeah, and you
how
want
do you
this
stake
kind of
it?
pot with the air circulation because
you want the roots to actually kind of grow out.
that's right. You
do
want them to
funky
grow
stuff,
right out. Yep.
So, we're going to try and stake it
Yep.
in a pot, and so we're going to use
We're going
a
to
zip
try
tie.
this trick here.
Yeah, we're going to see if this is going to work. So we're going to put it through some of these tall ones and see if this zip tie is going to hold this.
Yeah, and the reason for that, why it's so important, is because if this moves around and the orchid moves around, oh, la
How'd
cucina
that work?
varita.
Okay.
Oh, I like that a lot. Here, I'll chop. Is it nice and tight as you can get
It's
it?
as tight as I can get it.
Great.
So then you can just put that one in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Now, this won't move around. That's going to help this so much.
'Cause you'll ruin the flower if it flops.
That's right.
So we have some orchid bark, which is very important.
Yes,
Tell us
because,
about it.
you know, if you plant an orchid in soil, except for special terrestrial orchids, most orchids like this one grow up in the branch union on trees, just in a little moss and things.
Okay.
So you're never trying to get the bark really wet. You're just watering the roots that are in
Okay,
there, and it has to
interesting.
dry out completely. Now, you always water it before you put it in.
Oh, interesting.
And this will pack it down a little too, because that orchid bark has to be pretty packed down.
Okay.
Now, remember now, we are doing this not when we
I know.
normally would.
We shouldn't be doing it when it flowers, but we are.
Look, these roots are healthy as can be. If we saw any that were all rotten looking, we'd cut them off. But I'm looking at them, and they're all looking really good, you know. And we can pack that down pretty good.
I like kind of having a little root sticking out, a little
Yeah, it's
rebellious
kind of
one.
fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fun to grow something that you don't have to worry about, you know. We won't transplant this for a year. And the only reason we're going to transplant it is because it's going to need new bark. The old bark's going to run out of juice.
Okay. So now, do we need to water him in good?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely important to get
And then
this
you've got
guy
the
watered
mister
in.
going.
So Meeghan, put those right by the window between those lizards over there.
Okay.
Okay. And this is in front of a west window with a sheer kind
Perfect.
of a curtain,
Nice
so it
bright
allows
light.
just the right light to hit
Look
it.
at how gorgeous that is.
Yeah, and I think it looks really cool with all these lizards next to it.
I do too. Only your house, my friend. Only your house. So don't be afraid of orchids.
No, don't be afraid. You know, you have to do some things to them or they poop out on you anyway.
If you need any help transplanting your orchid or advice on any of your houseplants, they're going to be able to help you here at the Indoor Sun Shop in Fremont. I'm really starting to like this place.
I love this place.
You've been shopping.
Look what I found.
What?
Venus flytrap. Stick
Ooh,
your finger in
it's
there
not
and
gonna
see
eat
what
me, is
happens.
Let's see, dude.
Oh, la, la.
There he goes.
Oh, yeah, it's starting to shut. Oh, man, is that cool or
I
what?
love it. Well, you know what? I like the rare and unusual as well,
Yeah.
particularly this time of the year. So look what I found. It's a bromeliad, but it's got a pineapple.
It's a little
Isn't
pineapple.
that fun? Wouldn't that bring a smile to your face on a dark, dreary Northwest day?
Yeah, it's not going to do much for your breakfast, though. I can see that much.
Yeah, but it's going to raise my spirits, and that's all that matters.
So look at the coolest one of all. This is a fig
Oh.
from the desert. Look at that stem. Is that the coolest thing? Only $80.
You like the most unusual plants. He hardly has any leaves.
Oh, I just love to live and tweet a lot of
I
this
do like
guy.
the stem there. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you want to come and check out some of the fun plants they have here at the Indoor Sun Shop, we will put a link on our website.
Yeah, come on over and check it out. You may never leave once you walk in here. Oh, man, I saw so many cool ones.
Let's keep shopping. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.